Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to my van down by the river. Whew. All right, we're talking about guns, we're talking about Walmart, and we're talking about Dick's Sporting Goods. So there's been a corporate response to some of the outcry against the Armalite Rifle 15, commonly referred to as the AR-15. Now, this seems to have become the weapon of choice for mass shooters. And the thing is about this rifle is that except for mass shootings, this rifle is never, really ever, hardly ever, like once in a million incidences, is this rifle actually used to commit crimes. But for some reason, these insane people, or maybe there's more to it if you're a conspiracy theorist, but these individuals who are shooting up mass gatherings and schools and churches are using these Armalite rifle, AR-15 rifles. Part of that is because this rifle is such an American icon. Probably more than any rifle since the lever-action Winchester. There's probably never been another rifle since that rifle that is so iconic and immediately recognizable as American. The AR rifle might as well be called the American rifle. AR might as well stand for American instead of Armalite. It definitely has no reason to stand for assault rifle. That's completely made up. The Armalite rifle, but could be called the American rifle. So these people are choosing these guns, some of them because they have training with that gun, because they are so common. They are America's gun. These guns are used for home defense. These guns are used for ranch dispatching of varmints. They're what's called a truck gun down in the south and up in the high plains, places like Wyoming and Montana and Texas. These are truck guns. These are guns that people out in that work and do ranch work keep around for coyotes and to make sure that they're safe while they're out in the wilderness doing their jobs, taking care of the land. So city people don't understand the use of a truck gun, the use of a ranch rifle. And the AR-15 many years ago has become America's ranch rifle. It has replaced the lever-action Winchester in that purpose. So I think that when liberals and city dwellers see that rifle, they think of Rambo, they think of war. Honestly, I think when most rural Americans see that rifle, they see it as a tool. It's an American rifle, it's a tool. Not any different than the lever-action Winchester. Yes, the Winchester was used to fight the Indian Wars. So it was a weapon adapted for war. But ideally, the Winchester and the Armalite rifle are really at home with the cowboy and the rancher and the oil man out in the field, the prospectors in the mountains. That this is a tool. So this gun was readily available at Walmart and Dick's and any place where they sold fishing poles for the most part until for some reason this gun became, and probably for a lot of the reasons I've mentioned, this gun became the weapon of choice for madmen. So now Walmart was the first one to stop selling this rifle and anything that looked like this rifle. And I think that started in 2015, where they announced that they would no longer be selling that kind of rifle in their stores. And now Dick's has followed suit and said they will no longer be selling any military style rifle that resembles the Armalite Rifle 15. So, but now they've gone to another step where it seems to be an issue that this latest killer was not over 21. And it never made sense to me that a guy could join the military, be issued a rifle, be trained in the use of a handgun, and then do 2 years in the military, come home and still not be able to purchase a pistol. That you can purchase a rifle nationwide at the age of 18, but a handgun you have to wait until you turn 21 to get possession of a handgun. Now, I'm going off the top of my head, so correct me if I'm wrong, A lot of this stuff, I'm vamping off the top of my head. I don't have a big research. I'm not looking at a teleprompter. I don't have an iPad. I'm just shooting right out of my brain here, straight. So I could be wrong about this, but I think that the whole reason why they changed they made it to be 21 for a handgun and 18 for a rifle is that they were trying to stop suicides. And there was some study that showed that that people were between 18 and 21 were more susceptible to suicide than other people, so they were not going to give them a pistol, because a pistol is such a tool for that. It's just so easy. It's just you point it at yourself, it's over. And a rifle's a little harder to do logistically because of the length of the weapon. But now they're talking about bumping the age up to 21 for rifles. Nationwide, that's being discussed now. And Walmart and Dick's have taken it upon themselves to say that they will no longer be selling any guns to anyone under the age of 21. Now this I have a serious problem with, because you are doing something beyond and above the law. So the law already limits firearms, but now you're going to say, as a retailer, I'm going to limit them, and I am not going to sell them to people between the ages of 18 and 21, even though they could legally buy it from someone else. Now, you might argue that they're selling, so they have the right to sell to whom they want to and how they want to. That's not true. If I made a statement that said I will no longer be selling dresses to men, but only to women, oh boy, yeah, the transgender, cross-dressing, the LGBTQ community would have a cow. Hey, I'm a man. What if I want to buy a dress? What if I want to buy a dress for my aunt? What if I want to buy a dress and wear a dress? What if we were to say, oh, from here on out, if you look gay, we're not going to do business with you at all? I think, didn't we have that argument with the bake the cake or not bake the cake? Isn't this 100 times worse for them to say, oh, even though federal law says you can buy a gun, I'm not going to sell a gun to you. I'll sell a gun to somebody else who's older than you, but not you, even though you're both legally able to buy a gun. You see, this is discrimination against 18 to 21-year-olds. That's all it is. It's blatant discrimination. Without a law to back it up, they need to stop selling guns altogether if they're going to only sell guns to people who are over 21. That is the classic example of discrimination. It's age discrimination. What if they were to say, I think if you're over 60, you're not well enough in the mind, you're starting to get feeble-minded, you're starting to get too old to go out and hunt, so you don't have a right to a gun when you're over 60. So I, as a corporation, I'm not going to sell guns to old people. You might not keep track of them, you might accidentally shoot yourself, so we're not going to give you guns if you're over 60. Oh, the AARP might get on our side on that one, wouldn't they? The NRA and the AARP working together, that's discrimination against old people. Now, Dick's and Walmart, they have the right to say whether or not they want to sell guns, period. Walmart stopped selling handguns. Now they've stopped selling. Pretty much all you can get at Walmart, and it's been this way for some time, is bolt-action rifles, pump-action shotguns, and some semi-automatics, but I think only in .22. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, feel free. I don't really buy my guns at Walmart. I'll tell you what I do buy at Walmart. Fishing stuff. I buy fishing poles, I buy bait, I buy hooks and sinkers, fishing line, camouflage sometimes, camping gear, tents. Sometimes they have a sale and I buy that stuff at Walmart. Sometimes I have in the past bought things like boots, hiking boots, outdoor gear from Dick's. Especially when I lived in Colorado. They were really what was around. I typically always buy my firearms from smaller firearms dealers because I get a better deal and I get customer service. And, yeah, I'm not big on big corporations anyway. So, here's what I'm proposing. This is what I'm going to do in answer to this discrimination coming from Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart. And I think Walmart especially is going to feel this, because what do, outdoorsmen, hunters, ranch people, country people, what do they have in common with hunters, gun guys? What do we? Almost everybody that shoots also fishes. And I got to tell you, honestly, I think when you add it all up, a lot of us spend more money on fishing gear than we do on guns. We spend a lot more money on camping gear, water filters, boots, backpacks. Come on, you spend that money at Walmart and Dick's on that kind of stuff. You may not have bought a gun from Dick's, but you probably bought a sleeping bag from them. What if all of us who hunt and fish just go together, hunting and fishing and camping? We're all the same kind of people. There's only a tiny portion of fishermen who also aren't gun enthusiasts, who fish but don't hunt, or fish but are anti-gun. There's some fly fishermen out there, some Sierra Club people that will fish but they don't like guns. But typically, these two things go hand in hand. So, why don't we stop buying our fishing gear from Dick's? Why don't we stop buying our fishing and camping gear from Walmart? Why don't they, while they're rolling up their little gun ban, their little discrimination against people who are over 18 but under 21, while they're taking the side of globalists who want to disarm us and take away our Second Amendment rights, who are taking it upon themselves to take away our Second Amendment rights as best they can, or limit them, why don't we show them with our pocketbooks? Why don't we stop buying our hooks and sinkers, our lawn chairs, our coolers, our sleeping bags, and all of our long guns and all of our ammunition? Why don't we buy those from some places like Sportsman's Warehouse here in the Pacific Northwest, which is hunter friendly, which is self-defense friendly? They do sell high-capacity magazines. They do sell great outdoor gear. And they're competitively priced with Walmart and Dick's. And I'm sure that you've got a place like that in your local area. If not, there's lots of, let's start taking our little gun shops that have been making money just on guns, and let's start spending our money with them and have them ordering us fishing gear. Let's have them grow and expand and become outdoor companies. Won't we spend our money at Cabela's? Because I think they're not in on that, but maybe they are. Let's talk about Cabela's too. Where do they stand on this? Let's put our money where our mouth is. This is a powerful source. A lot of people, that spend their extra money on, they might spend it on Broadway tickets. They might spend it on trips. They might spend their extra money on golf or tennis. But really, most of rural America, the flyover country, us forgotten rednecks, we spend our money on Kevlar braided line, fishing line. We spend our money on $100 fishing poles. We spend our money on optics for our rifles. We spend our money on downs and synthetic sleeping bags and hiking boots that cost $200. This is what I save up my money for. I don't know about you. That's powerful. Let's use that power to tell these retailers that we don't appreciate them siding against us, their customers. That if you're going to take out the gun section, just take out the fishing pole section too. Take out the backpack section. Take out the hunting and hiking boots. You know what? While you're at it, Walmart, get rid of the tool section, because most mechanics have a gun in their toolbox, and they don't appreciate you either. Why don't you just get rid of the automotive section too, because gearheads a lot of times are gun guys too. We're not going to put up with this. We're not going to be silent anymore. We're going to call you out and tell you, okay, if you want to discriminate against our young men and women who are old enough to go to war, but apparently not old enough to buy a shotgun from your store, let them know with our pocketbooks by spending our money with more gun-friendly organizations. And that includes your fishing money, that includes your camping money, that includes your tool money. I mean, while you're at it, why don't we start buying our groceries from a grocery store again instead of from one of these mass companies like Walmart that are just trying to corner the market on everything, and that have driven so many small businesses out of business in so many small towns, to where if you pulled Walmart out of some small towns, no one would be able to buy a can of beans. Think about that. Let's not lay down and let them squash the Second Amendment. And for another video, I'm not real happy with you, President Trump. You better get on the side that put you in the office. You better dance with the ones that brought you. Don't give in to the liberals on the Second Amendment. It is sacred. We will fight you. We will put someone else in your place in that White House in 2020 if you don't pay attention to your constituents, to the people that elected you, Mr. President. God save our republic.